multiply by the same number in a sequence is now referred to as a geometric sequence. Take a look at example 1. I have an example of a geometric sequence there. 32, 8, 2, and so on. The pattern continues. Can you tell me what you're doing to get to the next term? 32 to 8 to 2. What are you doing? You're dividing by 4, and I absolutely agree with that. I just told you, though, a geometric sequence is when you multiply. So if you told me dividing, how can this still be geometric then? Dividing by 4, same as multiplying by 1/4. Everyone agree there? All right, dividing by 4, same as multiplying by 1/4. So what I would like you to do first is, knowing now that you're going to divide by 4 or multiply by 1/4 to this sequence, can you guys come up with the next 3 terms for me? So can you get the 4th term out of this? Can you get the 5th term and the 6th term for me? And I would appreciate it if it's left in fraction form. Fraction form if you can. Okay, so what's the 4th, 5th, and 6th term now of this sequence? And whenever you're ready, no rush here. Whenever you're ready, number 12, whenever you're ready, let me know. Yep. Yep. Good. Okay, next couple terms. Geometric because I'm multiplying. Now, do you remember when we did arithmetic? Here's just an easy arithmetic sequence. The number I go by, I add to every term, was called my what? I had a certain vocabulary term for it. Common difference. Nice. Well, I don't have a common difference anymore for geometric. I have what's called a common ratio. That's the number you multiply by. Okay? So in our case here, what was the letter we stood for common difference? D. Common ratio, lowercase r. What did we multiply every term by in this geometric sequence that we just finished up? 1/4. So my r value would be 1/4. Now, there may come a time when you look at a sequence and you're like, I have no idea what they're multiplying by. No clue. Let me show you a quick trick if you ever fall in that trap. If you ever want to find the r value and it is not automatically clear to you, it is very easy to find it. You take any term in the sequence and you divide it by its previous term. Okay, take any term in the sequence and divide it by its previous. Take a look at the one we just did here. If you take 2 and divide it by 8, what are you going to end up getting? 2 divided by 8, 1/4. Okay, so if you are stuck at any time, you're like, no idea what the ratio is, take any term divided by the previous. Okay. And I'm going to keep referring back to arithmetic sequences. Could you find the 100th term of this sequence without listing them all out? Right now, no, but there's a formula. If you don't have your formula sheet on you, I have extras over there, but if you have it on you, get it out for me. All right, get your formula sheet out. I want to make sure you know where this stuff is, so when you do the test next Wednesday, you know exactly where to look on the sheet. All right, we had one for arithmetic, right, which was the A1 plus n minus 1 times d. Well, we have one for geometric now. To find any term in a geometric sequence, everyone see where it says geometric sequence, right-hand column? A sub n equals A sub 1. Oh, no d anymore, but nr. For what again? The ratio. Raised to, that's an exponent. Just so you know, that's an exponent. R raised to the n minus 1. Okay? I don't think I have to go through what each means. A1's your first term. R is your common ratio. N is the term we're on. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, can you guys find the 17th term of that sequence? Stop where you are right now. I just introduced geometric, and you also have what other sequence have we talked about? Arithmetic. I know it's geometric sequence day, but every single problem I do, I want you to tell me why you know it's a geometric sequence. And it may be pretty obvious. Like in this one, why is it a geometric sequence? Well, say I don't even recognize the multiplying. It says geometric, okay? All right? Because right now you got two different types of sequences, and I need you to be able to look at a problem without me saying it's geometric or arithmetic, and you identifying it for yourself. So, yep, it says it's geometric. So let's find the 17th term without writing them all out. So take your formula, your explicit formula on the formula sheet. A1 r to the n minus 1. Need some help here. Need some help. 8, ready to go? 8? Okay. What term are you trying to find? So that's what I'm plugging in right here. 17th term is equal to first term. Can you recognize the r value here, what I'm multiplying by? 4. And again, if you didn't see it, take a term, divide it by its previous. Raised to the, what's my n value? No. N value, what'd you plug in here? 17. That's the number of terms you're trying to, or the term you're trying to find. 17 minus 1. If you can do it, I would plug that all in once. Do not do 1/16 times 4 first. Exponents come first, then multiplication. And yes, you are going to get a large number here because you are multiplying by 4 every time. So this number should be pretty large. $268 million. Please let me know if you're not getting that on your calculator because we figure out what we need to, what you're doing on the calculator. Everyone can get that? Did you use your new fraction template there for 1/16? I do. Nice. Don't feel bad. I had a kid 5th period today who, and actually I shouldn't say anything because some of you may not know either, had to turn a decimal into a fraction using your calculator. No? Math, number 1. This is like changing. It's like a new person that's doing it. Unbelievable. All right, anyway, sorry. I should be just strictly talking to math with you guys, nothing else, right? Okay, try out 2 now. Find a sub n when I have all this up here. Stop. How do you know it's geometric? Because I didn't say it this time. Thank you. There's an r value, which means common ratio. Must be geometric, so I can use my geometric explicit formula. All right, here we go. Can I get a little help here? 16, ready to go? Okay. So I'm going to be, if n 6, I'm going to be finding the 6th term. What's the first term, stud? R value. Raised to the, 6 minus 1. Superstar back there just does it in his head. Showing off. Sixth term, 1,215. Can we handle this? Because I'm going to do a little something different now with this formula other than just solving for a certain term. All good. Geometric, multiply, R value. R value. Good talk. R value. Genie coming in. You guys, that's right. I forgot to cut out the next problem. All right, find the first term. If the 8th term is 20 and the R value is 1/2. How do you know it's a geometric? R value, okay, perfect. So let's get this out. Now I'm just going to be solving for a different part of the equation. I'm going to be solving for A1. Okay, help me plug in some numbers here. 8, you ready to go? Okay, calm down. Okay. Here, this is any term in the sequence. Did I give you any term in the sequence? What is that term? Well, it's the 8th term, but what is it? 20. So the 20 gets plugged in here. This whole thing represents the term. First term we don't know, we're solving for it. What's my R value? Okay, ready? And this is huge out to everybody else. It's not 20 that I plug in here. It's whatever term 20 was, which was the what term? Everyone see that? You should never be plugging in the same numbers here. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but like if the 5th term is 5, then okay, it will be. But everyone see where these 8 and the 20 is coming from. Okay, help me solve now. 20 equals A1. I have no idea, 1/2 to the 7th. 1 over, I have it as a decimal, but 1 over 128. Okay, how do I get rid of that then? Because I need the A1 all by itself. I can multiply both sides by 128, or I can divide both sides by 1 over 128. We all have calculators here that can handle that. And what's my first term here? 2,560. Anything else you guys want to ask? Okay, last thing I have to show you guys is how to write a rule now. Okay, how to write a formula for a sequence. Okay, write a rule for the nth term. How do you know it's geometric? Tells you. And remember, nth term just means use the explicit formula on your formula sheet. All right, 5, 25, 125. Write a rule that it represents that sequence. So A1. When we're writing these rules for the nth term, n stays what? N. N stays n when you're writing the rules. Okay, help me write the rules then. Hey, little help. 19, little help. Oh, geez. You guys are silly. 2, little help. N stays n. First term in the sequence. 5. Can you locate the R value by yourself? R value is what I'm going by. By 5, yep. N stays. Now I know what some of you tricksters want to do. It's not happening though. What are some kids going to try to do here? Yeah, it can't happen. Exponents come first, not multiplication. So you cannot multiply the 5 and the 5. That's it right there. That's the rule right there. Hey, what if I added in a part B question here and said, hey, what's the 50th term? How would you use 50? Plug it in for n. Good. You see how useful that formula is now. All right, and next one. Oh, boy. Anybody looking ahead? What did I not provide you here to plug in? Oh, I did not provide the first term. Sorry. So n stays n. We'll find the first term in a second. 8 to the raised to the n minus 1. Okay, you guys got a lot of knowledge now in this sequence department. Is there any way I can use this information that the 4th term is 3 and the R value is 8 to go backwards to the first term? Can I go backwards to the first term? I'll open it up to number 3. Any thoughts? What's the R value telling you? That means to get to the next term, I multiply by 8, right? So how can I go to the term before it then? I don't want to multiply by 8. How would I go backwards? Little help for the kid here. I could divide by 8, right? If I go to the next term, if I multiply it by 8 to go backwards, I would divide by 8. I could do that, right? Keep dividing by 8 until I get to the first term. Or, hey, I'm going to challenge you now. Come on, 8th period. I'm going to challenge you. How could I use this formula to get the R value? Do you know any term in the sequence? What is it? It's 3, right? First term I'm trying to find. What's the R value? 8. The third 3 is what term? Can you guys solve for A1? We just did in the previous one. Okay, so yes, you can keep dividing by 8, or you can use the formula to find the first term. Go ahead, use the formula to find the first term. Keep it as a fraction for me. Three over 512. So I'll plug that in here. 3 over 512. There's the formula for this sequence. You guys feeling all right? No, you're good.
But this is fine. But it's healthy.
Suck it up. All right, tell her, suck it up. All right. How you doing today, all right? We better today? I haven't heard any yakking yet. Okay. Okay, anybody else want to keep whining here? I didn't know this was going to be a complaint session. All right, let's get this finished here so we can all stop talking. Oh, word problems. Here we go. I start out with 5,000 cubic centimeters of helium. It's going to lose a fourth every day. Every day it's going to lose a fourth. Can you write out the first 5 days for me? The first 5 days. All I want is the terms written out like it's a sequence. How much did we start out with? 5,000. So there's day 1. Here's where it gets interesting now. How are you going to find how much on the next day? How are you going to find the second term in this sequence? Divide by 4? Because it's 1/4. What do you guys get when you divide by 4? 1250, right? But there's a problem. There's a problem. Read it. Shows the amount of helium in the balloon. What's that number represent that you have on your calculator when you divide by 4? That's how much I got out of the balloon, because it loses a fourth. So you're telling me now, what was that number? 1250. It loses 1,250 centimeters a day now, all right, or for this first day. So I'm not going to write 1250 because that's how much left. How much left the balloon. I want to know how much is still in the balloon. Okay, so 3750. Okay, so we don't have to keep doing this times a divide by 4, subtract from it. If a fourth of it leaves, how much is still in the balloon then? If 1/4 of it leaves, how much is still in the balloon as a fraction? 3/4. Everyone agree? So instead of doing 1/4 and then subtracting it from whatever the number was before, can't we just multiply by 3/4? Okay, to see how much is left. All right, so if 1/4 is leaving, 3/4 is still remaining. Or think of it as 25%. If 25% leaves, how much is still in the balloon? 75%. So next day should be 2,812.5. And then you guys can find the remaining 2 terms. Got the 5 terms. You all right? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay, you just got that. Just want to make sure we're all good. Can you now write a rule, write an equation for me that represents this equation? Or this sequence, excuse me. Can you write an equation now? It's geometric, right? So I look on my formula sheet, I get out the geometric sequence formula. If I'm writing an equation, n stays n. What was your first term? Let's see if we pick this up or not. What's your R value? 0.75 or 3/4, right? And if you don't believe me, remember my trick. Take a term, divide it by its previous. You'll get 0.75 out. Or 3/4, however you want to write it, raised to the n minus 1. Don't turn the page. I want to see if we really pick up this 1/4, 3/4 business. I made a bad investment. All right, I made a very bad investment. I started out, I invested $5,000 of my own money in some type of stock. All right, it was a bad idea because every month I lost 8% of it. Every month I lost 8%. To find out how much I had in the next month, would you multiply by 0.08 to see how much money I had left? This is how much I want to multiply by 0.08. Multiply point. What's left over? If 0.08 is what I lost, what's left over? 0.92. Okay, so I'm just trying to get, because I know this is going to be coming up more and more when we do these. If anything decreases or depreciates, you don't want to multiply by, the R value is not going to be what the percent is. It's 1 minus whatever the percent is. All right, so that would be my R value here. All right, that's only if it decreases. Okay? All right. Just want to, because I know it's going to come up over and over again. All right, last one. Yeah, buddy, he's ready. Do you remember finding I'd give you the first term and the last term, and you'd find me a couple in the middle when it was arithmetic. All right, we can do the same thing with geometric, but we call it geometric means. Number 6, 3 is the first term. 24 is the fourth term. What about the 2 in the middle? And you can't do it like arithmetic because I'm multiplying now. So you can't just say, oh, they're 21 apart, and I'm going to do it 3 times. That would be fine if it was arithmetic, but this is geometric. What value do I need to finish this problem? What value do I need to find out what goes in 2 and spot 3? I need the ratio, the R value. Everyone agree? Is there any formula we've used today that's got R in it? Okay. A sub n equals A1 R to the n minus 1. You should be able to fill in everything but R. Let's find out. 11, ready? 11. Here, not here. How about 16? You are here. You're ready to roll. Ready? A sub n, any term in the sequence that's not the first term. 24 equals, what's the first term? 3. Trying to solve for R. Now what can I plug in for n? Not 24, but its position, which is fourth term. Calm it down with the attitude. 24 equals 3R to the third. Keep going. What should I be doing now on both sides? Oh, sure, go ahead. You should be, but go ahead. Darn right, divide by 3. I'd ask Mike where this button is, but he just discovered his fraction template, so I'll skip that part. What do I need to do on both sides? Cube root. Do you know where that is, Mike? Come on, don't tell him, anybody. Yeah, all right, look at that. No fraction template, but the old cube root button we always use. There we go. Cube root. So r is 2. Now what are my next two terms then? 3 times 2, 6 times 2, and look at that. 12 times 2 works out perfectly. 6 and 12. Yeah, don't try to make up for it. All right. 3 means in between these two numbers. 3 means. I'm going to have you guys try this one on your own. 3.12, 3 in the middle, ending with 49.92. The only question you may have with this one is, where is this button I need on my calculator? Or maybe you know where it is already. Okay, so find the R value first, like we just did. Find your R value. Oh, shoot.
You're like done with giggling.
You guys getting down to R to the fourth equals 16? Okay, so you're going to take the fourth root now, not the cube root, but the fourth root. Anybody know how to use their calculator for that? Yep, type in 4, math 5, or some of you can go to math 5 and I'd just use your arrow key to get over there and type in 4. It's up to you. And then we got R is 2 once again. So keep multiplying by 2. Here are my means. 6.24, 12.48, and 24.96. All right, questions? Okay, plenty of time here. Let's get working because we're not out of here till 1:52, so we still got 12 minutes. Grab a textbook. Go ahead, get rolling with your group. Nice job today.
Great. Oh my God.